Howdy, y'all. Welcome back. So, today, at least for right now, we will be continuing our life, beginnings and always. And we are almost done with the second step. So, all we have to do is just read the ending storyline to the second step, and then we'll move on to the third step, which I'm so excited about. This will be a shorter stream since I have to make sure to get ready for the next stream I'll be doing. I'll be collaborating with someone to play Goose Goose Duck. So yeah, this will probably be about only 2 hours or so. Howdy, Gabriella. Welcome. How are you doing today? So let me go switch. Can y'all see? It seems like every time I open this game up, the old window I have for it never works. I have to go and remake this room so it shows up because it's not showing up right now. Hold on a second. Okay. Okay, here we go. There we go. Now y'all should be able to see. Okay, here we go. So there was no denying it. Today was the very last day of summer. Tomorrow you will head into class. You excited to go back, anxiety gnawed at your stomach. It was a bummer, your feelings were muddled. It was a bummer. Summer had been so much fun. When you thought about going back to school, it was with a sense of loss. Soon you wouldn't be able to choose how your days were spent without the school bell telling you where you'd be and when. It was with a heavy heart that you chose your outfit for the final day of freedom. Also, let me turn the video game music back on. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Life was going to be different. You had come to think of the summer vacation as the norm, but school sucked up the majority of the year, whereas the summer vacation was just a respite in the middle. So rather than it being different, it was kind of a return to the normal. What did your normal life really mean? You considered how fondly your moms talked about their summer vacation as kids. You didn't really recognize that one year, the pattern of school and summer itself would be over for good. It was hard to imagine. You got distracted, one arm still out of the sleeve. You pulled it through and put your mind back to the present. The season had brought plenty of change of its own, like Kira's visit, though that too was coming to an end today. Oh, she's gonna leave. No, Kira. You were happy you finally got a chance to know her. You had become extremely fond of her. You didn't really like her. Your mind wasn't made up of on how you felt about her. You didn't care one way or another. So, I like Kira a lot. But as a teenager, who all of a sudden just met your best friend's mother, how would I feel? Would I be like extremely fond, or would I be, yeah, I'm happy I got to know her before she leaves? Let me see. What is this like? She was interesting to be around. You liked how easy it was to talk to her. Okay, and then the neighborhood was, oh, okay. How I would think. She liked how easy it was to talk to her. Good. Cope would be there in a moment. You'd agreed to see his mom off together. Officially, the plan was that he would come over to bring you around to his house when she was finally ready to set off, but you both knew that you'd be hanging out for at least a little while beforehand. Kira's visit had troubled Cove when it first happened. It had been a sudden change, thanks to Mr. Holden's infamous tendency to surprise people, but once he was able to adjust, he'd been in pretty good spirits with her around. It was a relief for everyone. The next thought had crossed your mind was, I wonder if there's a version of Cove we can get where he's just not happy the entire time. It would be only polite to get the door for Cove. You went downstairs to wait. You couldn't wait to see Cove, so you went downstairs to meet him when you arrived. You knew your house well enough. Cove knew your house well enough. You could lounge in your room to wait for him. Um, yeah, you can only be. It would only be polite. You strolled down the stairs. Someone else might have been able to answer it, but he was your guest. It was only a few minutes later when the doorbell rang. As you chosen to stand beside it to wait for Cove, there was no delay in pulling it open. Cove was there, just as you expected. Seeing you, he flashed a bright grin. Hey, Pascal. Hi, Cove. Come on in. Once he stepped inside, you beckoned for him to follow you upstairs. Back up in your room, you sat down on your bed and waited for Cove to settle in as you knew he would. With other guests, you might have offered them a seat, but you and Cove were long past the tentative stages of friendship. Your room was as familiar to him as his own. Yeah, I wonder if we had a negative personality, if Cove would have a more negative personality. You watched as Cove sat down on your desk chair, his preferred spot. We rolled it closer to the bed to make it easier to chat, tweaking the angle so he was facing you fully. Once happy with the position, he leaned in towards you, his hands held in his lap. His actions weren't the ones of someone who planned on moving from the spot anytime soon, even though you had an appointment to keep them together that day. When is your mom leaving? We got some time. She still got a shower and stuff before she goes. She didn't want to just keep hanging around while she was doing that. Keep me just hanging around while she was doing that. He lifted his head, his gaze drifting through the window and chuckled. Oh, you know what? That would, an emo Cove would be wonderful. I would love that actually. I've heard a lot of people say that they had a emo phase when they grew up, when they was growing up. I never had an emo phase, So I always see that references on TV or even in real life. People always talk about I was emo, like in middle school or high school. I never went through that. I've always thought about what would it be like if I had emo phase. um, I can't believe she's already leaving. Just when I'm get, just when I'm getting used to her being there every day. Oh, Cove. He leaned back in the chair, a wry smile tickling his cheeks. Yeah, you nodded. She'll be back. Time's going by so fast. Will she be back? I don't even know if that's true. She'll be back. Is that? I don't even know if that's true. Wait. He cocked his head thoughtfully before shrugging. Hmm. He ran a head through his hair before shaking his head, as if shaking off the topic like a dog whipping water following a deep dip in the sea. Cove perched an elbow in the chair's arm and propped his jaw against the curled hand. There was a natural ease to his movements, a familiarity from the echoes of all the times before when he sat in that same position. This was a really nice summer. Totally. It was alright. I'm glad we got to spend so much time together. Yeah, I've had better. I'm looking forward to the next. You nodded your head in agreement. Mm, maybe I should already I'm already waiting for next summer break. Kobe. I know, right? He is. I love the sprite when he has his mouth open. You can see his little top teeth. They kind of look like. I'm pretty sure they're not supposed to be like buck teeth. They're not supposed to be buck teeth, but it's the way it's drawn. It's like kind of cute like that. Cove still nestled cozily in your chair, smiled at your response. How your fish doing? Really good. Things in the tank are stable, and everybody looks healthy. That was nice to hear. You learned from Cove how hard it was to maintain an aquarium. Joseph has been busy. Oh yeah, I then went to fish Joseph. Joseph has been busy. Keeps darting between the plants and out again when I walk by, like a game of peekaboo. All hide and seek. Yeah. Yeah, that face that he did. Cove eyelid glanced out of the window. He gave a resigned sigh. It's gonna be harder to surf, with school. It's getting colder out. Oops. Okay. I thought I just snapped my glasses, but I didn't. Okay. I might store my board away. I don't know how I'm gonna go on without surfing. I like surfing, but I wish it liked me. I'm over surfing now. Surfing's cool when we can. Sorry, Cove. I mean, I'm not a surfer, so sorry. You didn't feel like not being able to surf was a big deal, but you had sympathy for him. He gave a slight smile, coupled with a shrug as a response. Well, it won't be long until we get our grades for the summer work we did. Oh yeah, I think mine's gonna go well. We'll just have to see what mine are like. Cole looked at you, eyes bright. Things will work out, I know it. Do you think we'll see Miranda around school this year? Miranda. Oh yeah, Miranda. I was like, who's Miranda? I was like, is that a cousin? No, that's Lee. But Miranda's the girl that we went to the birthday party with. Or whose birthday party we went to. Probably, she could be one of our classes again. You hope that you see her often. It'd be nice to see her again. You weren't interested in seeing her around. It didn't really matter to you. It'd be nice to see her again. She seemed nice. Pascal, Cole! The sudden call from downstairs caught you both unaware. You nearly forgotten the world outside your room. From the guilty look on his face, Cole had done the same. Just had a call. Cole's mom is ready to go. If you're quick, she might keep the mandated monthly smothering to the minimum. You doubted that, but it was nice that Mom and Miss Priest had their strange sense of humor in common. Your eyes met Cole's. Wordlessly, you headed downstairs together. Each step on the way was painfully slow, like he was trying to delay the inevitable. His whole body tensed, leaving the house, and Cole froze to get all together before you both could cross the street. The door is open. Dad must be taking her stuff out. He swallowed hard. She's really gonna leave. You smiled at him reassuringly. You gave his back a pat. You rested your hand on his arm. This isn't the last time you'll ever see her. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I should keep saying stuff, right? I feel like I should just let him feel what he feels. So it's like, let's give him let's comfort him. Like just with this non-verbal gestural support. Your motion was soft, and you weren't sure if you even noticed at first. It'll be okay. But Cole's bottom lip quivered, and he turned away. He gave his back a couple more reassuring pats. Oh, Cole. Thanks. At that, some of the conflict warring on his face eased a bit. Together you went across the street inside his house, finding his parents in the living room surrounded by his mom's packed things. Hey, kids. Good timing. I just called a taxi. And hi, Pascal. So glad to see you today. It was fabulous getting to know you this summer. I finally got to put a face to a name I've heard so many times. She winked, and Cole patted on cue over her teasing. Oh, so nice. I love it when I find out that people talk about me. Talk about me in a nice way. Obviously, I don't mean in a mean way. But I like hearing the fact that people talk about me to other people in a positive way, in their own time. Like that shows that they think about me. They actually, care about me. It's nice. I'm really happy I got to meet you. I hope you had a good time visiting. Bye. You didn't say anything in response. I'm really happy I got to meet you, too. Hopefully it won't be long before we see each other again. Nodding, Kara turned her attention back to her boys. She patted Cliff on the arm with a warm smile, and then she enveloped Cove in a crushing hug. Initially, Cove squirmed to break free from her grip, but his mom was unfazed and kept him locked in place. Heartbeats later, she gave in and hugged her, and hugged her back tightly. Wait, heartbeats later, he gave in and hugged her back tightly.
I'm so glad.
And I'm so happy this trip was a success. Cliff looked like he was bursting with pride, and then Cove stiffened. Kara loosened her hold on him enough to study his face, concerned. She spoke her next words in a whisper that had been meant just for her son. Oh, Shelv, do you mean like explain how you initially weren't happy? I thought they told him that they weren't happy about this at first when they came back from the restaurant at the first day. Do you want to unshelve it? Raising an eyebrow, Cliff watched him carefully. His smile began to falter. Oh, what's wrong? Cove sighed and his gaze flickered over to you for a moment, and then just as quick it was back on his parents. It's alright.
Really?
Are you sure? I don't want to do it now. I can tell Dad later. I thought they talked about this, but I guess they hadn't talked about it. Because he said, uh-oh, I guess I'm in trouble the day that we first went back, when Kira first came. Well, I guess they haven't talked about it. Nervously, you watched the exchange with the growing suspicion that Cove didn't want to have the conversation while you were there. You wondered if you should offer to leave when Kira gave Cove a pat on the head.
Alright.
You can always call me if you want me to be a part of the conversation, okay? I'll call. Thanks, Mom. Cove still looked baffled at what Kira and Cove were referring to, but you watched as his shoulders slowly relaxed. You figured that he decided to wait for Cove to be ready to talk to him. And with close silence, things seemed to be settled for now. Oops. After that, it wasn't long before the taxi arrived, rolling up in front of the house and in clear view of the open door. Kira stood up, smiling sadly. Well, that's my ride. Yeah. The matching reply got a chuckle out of Kira as you all filed out of the house. Father and son went with Kira's bags in hand. Once outside, you spotted your family waiting by the street, and to your surprise, Derek was also with them. He stood by uncomfortably, and he waved as soon as you noticed him.
What's up?
Hey, Pascal. Hi, Cove. When did you get here? My dad dropped me off just a little bit ago. No, I could visit one more time before school started. Oh, thought I could visit one more time before school started.
Sorry.
You picked a busy time. Sorry. Derek couldn't even look at Cove. He nervously kept rolling a pebble with the bottom of his shoe.
Sorry.
I wasn't even thinking your mom would be leaving today. Sorry, dude. What? You're not interrupting anything. You're always welcome here. It would have been sad if I didn't get to say goodbye before leaving. I think so too. It was apparent that Derek would have preferred to have gone there at a more opportune moment. He never liked seeming impolite, but their reassuring words soothed his worries. The tension he was holding in his body lessened, and he looked like he was feeling much more like himself. Bye, Derek. It was fun getting to know you. Bye, ma'am. Is there anything I could do to help? Nah. Okay. Nah, don't worry yourself over that. We're just about set. In a short amount of time, Cliff had gathered and packed the bags into the trunk. Kira took one last look at everyone inside. Alright, I don't want to keep the trouble waiting. It's time to head out. The little crowd that had formed around started the chorus of farewells and well wishes traveling, but Kira still made no move to get into the taxi. She placed her attention on Cole. I'll call when I get to the airport, and when I make it to Nevada. Also, you better call the moment you walk in the door at home. Otherwise, we'll be wondering all night if you got into trouble on the way there. I can do that. And, Could you call tomorrow too? So I can tell you how school went? Of course! I want to hear all about it! And Kira put a hand on Cole's head and affectionately ruffled his hair one last time. Then she let go, only to move on to squeezing his cheeks and hands instead. Mom! I love you so much, baby! She was chuckling by the time she freed him and rounded things off with a small tap at the tip of his nose. Cove rubbed at his face with a grin. I love this face too that he has. This little shy smile. So cute. Finally, she walked to the car while leaving and then took a seat in the taxi. Cliff hooked an arm around Cole's shoulder, kept him close as it began to pull away. For a moment, Cole looked up at his dad, then wrapped an arm around his back, across his back. Bye, Mom. Bye. Travel safe. Kara rolled down the window and stuck her head out of it. She waved again while blowing kisses at Cove and Cliff. See you again. Before she was out of sight, you decided to call out with your family and hers. Wave goodbye, watch quietly. It's only right to call out, you know. As you added your voice to the others, you watched Kira's smile grow larger. The cab turned down another road and completely disappeared from view. Cove let go of his dad and took a few steps out into the empty street, still looking in the direction his mom went. He smiled quietly, deep in thought. You got the impression Cole was feeling better than he was earlier. He was finally content with the way things were. You jump a bit when your mom put a hand on your shoulder, pulling you away from your thoughts. She smiled when you looked at her. That was a great vacation, huh? Yeah, I don't think so. You're not in agreement. You shrugged. I don't know. Summer isn't over until the second I fall asleep. I'm not in agreement. Yeah, it was a good one. Cole walked back over to the group, still genuinely happy. Derek grinned at him welcomingly, and everyone else there smiled at him, even Elizabeth.
Well?
Ma clapped her hands together, bringing everyone's attention back to the present. It's almost lunchtime. I think I'll put something special together. Her eyes sparkled with a plan, and Mom smiled. I bet you can use some help with that. That'd be absolutely wonderful. Derek glanced between the two, his brows furrowed. Is there something I could do? Your mom's exchanged a fond expression, and Ma shook her head.
How sweet.
That's very sweet, Derek, but it's all right. It's not your job. Thankfully, your dad left you under Cliff's watch. You're meant to be taken care of by him, not doing chores for the neighbors. Mom laughed a little over her own joke. You watched Derek look away, discouraged.
It's okay.
Oh, he just wants to help. He just likes to help people. It's okay. I don't mind. He's a little bashful about it. He wondered if Mom's joke had just reminded him he was initially meant to be invited to lunch. He was getting a little awkward. Mom grinned sympathetically. Her comment was meant to lighten the mood, not bring it back down. I'll try again to get things moving forward. Why don't you kids go have fun? You all can come back in about an hour. We'll make enough for everyone. Mom nodded in agreement.
Sounds good.
Another stunning idea, Lonnie. Thanks.
Thank you.
That sounds like a plan then. I don't want to cramp your style. I've got some stuff to work on, so I'll be out of your hair this afternoon. You should come by later too. No one should be the odd man out. I mean, you should make a joke saying even if he is included, he's still the odd man out. Like he's the only man, like actually the only man that's here, and he's kind of odd. Mom seemed amused as Cole rubbed his neck nervously. He grinned, a wavering but pleased smile.
Thanks very much.
I appreciate the invite. He looked over the assembled crowd with knowing glances. I can help too, with as many people as you're feeding. That's gonna be a lot of food. Didn't you hear what I told Derek? It would be fair to make you cook when we're the ones who are inviting you in. Ma raised an eyebrow when Cliff waved it off.
Come on.
I insist. Derek will be missing time with his pals. This will be a break for me. Of quite the chef. Mom exchanged further glances before Mom shrugged. An airtight argument. If you sure, we'd be happy to have you, Chef Cliff. Cliff grinned widely and seemed more hyped than you'd expect him to be about helping with lunch. Cole shook his head and a smile on his face. Then all us grown-up people will be heading inside. I assume the rest of you kiddos are staying out? Maybe not all of them. Yeah, Elizabeth gonna be going back inside, back to her room. Ma tilted her head, a silent question for Elizabeth. Your sister thought for a moment.
Alright.
Oh, okay, Elizabeth gonna stay with us for a change. Okay. I'll stay with the kids.
That's fantastic.
Hmm. Both their moms smiled at her while Derek and Cole didn't seem to appreciate her phrasing. But once the plan decided, all three parents waved and headed for your house. It was just you teenagers now. Elizabeth looked at you and the others, a curious expression on her face.
So,
And what now? You silently wondered if Elizabeth only stayed out with you to avoid getting roped into work. Then again, she could just genuinely want to hang out. You couldn't tell with your sister. Cole spoke up after no one else had an answer to Elizabeth. You know, Cole spoke up after no one else did to answer Elizabeth's question. Wanna go to the shopping district? It's been a while, and I don't think there's a lot of other things we can agree on. Yeah, sure.
awesome.
That sounds awesome to me. Unlike you guys, I haven't been there 1,001 times. It's new to me. Let's do it. Okay. If you guys really want to. Yeah, there's nothing else to do. Okay. You strolled across the road as a group, down to the beach and then to the left. It took less than 15 minutes to arrive. One of the conveniences was Sunset Bird. The four of you looked around at the familiar shops, trying to see if anything caught your attention this time. Oops, did I skip something by accident? Okay. Derek was the most enthusiastic. He checked out every stall with his eyes wide with wonder. Elizabeth and Cole were in good spirits as well. That's so cool! He ran over to a street musician who was currently doing a card trick for the group of enchanted tourists. Derek clapped when the magician showed a middle-aged man in his card. No, showed a middle-aged man his card. Derek turned back to the group with a curious gleam on his face. Is that Alexander's or someone else? What does it take to perform here anyway? Do you have to ask somebody, or do you just show up and start doing stuff? Who would you even ask? It's a public street. Hey, Mrs. Mayor, can I pull a rabbit out of my hat? Please. Oh, please. Flopsy is well behaved, I promise. Derek chuckled, his eyes searching up and down the scene.
Maybe?
Maybe there's a boss of the shopping district? No one does any of this around my neighborhood. Just regular stores behind walls. It's different if someone wants a real store, but here I'm pretty sure people are just putting their own little shows whenever they want and do whatever. That's so neat. Will we be allowed to do something too? Cove laughed and Derek almost began vibrating with excitement. Elizabeth rolled her eyes. What will we do? Well, I don't know what. Not yet, I mean, I just found out that's a possibility, you know? But there's gotta be something. We know cool stuff. I'm sure if we think about it, we can plan a show that'll really get the crowd pumped. That was a great idea and want to be a part of it. You thought he could try this idea on his own. You thought Derek needed to abandon this bad idea, stat. You gave a look to the other two. What do y'all say? Derek continued to brainstorm out loud about his different potential performances while you glanced over at Cove and Elizabeth. I mean, I could bounce a soccer ball in my head. Last time I tried and got 8 bounces before it fell. I wouldn't bring a ball here.
Why?
Not. Cole gestured to everything around the stalls, the people, all the colorful chaos that made up the shopping district. Would you want to chase a lost ball here? And what if you hit somebody? Even if you're good, someone else could bump into you. That's true. Derek thought about it some more. Then he watched another performer, a woman doing tricks with two small dogs. One was fluffy and cream colored, while the other was a cool gray. The woman held up rings. Both animals jumped through the openings, happy to receive a treat at the end. Derek brightened. Maybe I'll teach crabs how to race. Crabs? It could work. With some amusement, the gang continued to peruse the stalls to teach crabs how to race. Elizabeth found some earrings with a dangling, badly misprinted globe that everyone laughed at. Cole picked up a Blobber's Iceland. Picked out a Blobber's Iceland, but Derek thought it had to be Greenland. You know, this is a world with what looks like 9 continents? I think you're both wrong. How many continents are there? North America, South America, Asia, Europe, Africa, and Antarctica. Okay, there's 7 continents, right? Okay. So it's 2 more than usual. 2 more than it's supposed to be. You wanted to side with Cove. You backed up Derek. You agree with your sister. No, it's Australia. You stayed out of it. I feel like I should also have my own input. No, it's Australia, obviously. 3 gigs with extra interjection. That's the direct opposite of what Greenland and Iceland are. It's like the 2 different halves of the Earth. Suddenly Cole froze. Oh my god. Okay, I guess we're gonna see Jeremy for the last time this step. You stared at him and then tried to see what caught his attention. When you saw a familiar face down in the way, it all made sense. I think this is the first time that Elizabeth's gonna meet Jeremy, because I don't think she's ever seen him. Between the crowds, his bright hair stood out like a neon green bowl in a kitchen sink. It was Jeremy. Jeremy slowly drifted his eyes down the street, and his eyes widened in mutual recognition. He definitely noticed you. Derek frowned and Cove tensed up. Gonna help but remember the last time you seen Jeremy at Miranda's birthday party. The wonder Cove was already defensive. You stood there shocked. You glared at Jeremy. You waved at Jeremy. Decided to smile at Jeremy. You looked away. I'm looking away. You didn't want to even start with Jeremy's shenanigans today, please. I don't know the last day of summer. Elizabeth raised an eyebrow. Her gaze swept over Jeremy without a hint of a clue. Jeremy simply scoffed himself and waded deeper into the crowd of people. Okay. Derek relaxed and exhaled loudly. I'm glad he's not going to start anything. You peeked over at Elizabeth with a tiny smirk. See? That was that mean kid.
What?
She still didn't get it. That first summer day hadn't made nearly as much of an impression on her as it did for Derek, but he smiled and waved it off. Just forget about him. I already have. He laughed and Cole smiled lightly. He seemed in a much better mood now that Jeremy was gone. Your eyes wandered over to where Jeremy disappeared. You hadn't forgotten the day you met him either. He was only going to be in town for vacation with the parents he hated. That glimpse was probably the last time you would ever see him. You mentioned that realization to everyone. You kept the thought to yourself. You broke from the group and went after Jeremy. Well, I'm curious to see what happens if I break and go after Jeremy, but I'm playing as if it's me, my first rational thoughts if I was in the situation, so I'll save this for another time. But I'm very curious, like, is he going to change in the last scene of the step, or is he going to stay how he is? Keep the thought to myself. Elizabeth snapped her fingers in front of your face. Apparently you had spaced out. Cole and Derek were already at the next stall. Come on, unless you want to get left here. You nodded and caught up with the others. Cole raised an eyebrow. What were you thinking about? Nothing. He gave you a searching look, but let it drop when Derek yelled at you to go check something out. Jeremy was unlike anyone you ever met before. You thought he was horrible. You thought he was weird. You thought he was stupid. You thought he looked kind of pitiful. You thought he was kind of okay. You don't know what to think about him. Horrible, weird, stupid, pitiful, okay. Um, I guess I'll say he's pitiful. It's very sad that he feels he can't find no enjoyment in anything. He's always just mad. It's very sad. You and the group moved on from the stall from Jeremy. It didn't take long for everyone to return to joking. You all enjoyed what little time you had left. As Elizabeth mentioned, the hour was almost up. The little trip had flown by, and lunch must have been waiting for you. Uh, the little trip had flown by, and lunch must have been waiting for you now. Must have been waiting for you now. Derek bounced on the balls of his feet. Come on, guys. Let's get going so we can eat. I'm starving. We have to. I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm always excited for lunch. Cole stretched one of his arms lazily. Let's go then. You looked at him appraisingly. You asked Cove to carry you back to the house. You nodded. Well, I'm so curious about that, but I'll say it because that's not how I'll react in the situation. You nodded at him. You then followed Elizabeth as she took it upon herself to lead the way back home. She walked fast, much faster than Derek preferred. She kept gaining the lead, and then Derek would jog back up to the group. With Cole's long legs, he had no trouble keeping up. You moved to the front with Elizabeth. You walked side by side with Cole. You stayed with Derek. It would be rude if I left Derek. I gave Derek some company, which made him brighten up considerably. He brought up his idea of trying to make up a performance again, and you listened to his plans. For the most part, you could tell he was being silly on purpose, but there was a shine in his eyes. You both got so engrossed in the conversation that you didn't notice how far you'd fallen behind your sister until Cove looked over his shoulder and shouted something. Derek grinned at you and then tried to make it a race to catch up with Elizabeth. It was a pleasant walk home, and in no time you had made it back. Derek got to the front door and held it open for everyone as you each moseyed inside. The three parents were still in the kitchen. They looked up and waved. Welcome back, everyone. You made it just in time. I hope you're hungry. So, did everyone have a nice time out? She gestured for people to take a seat at the table. Plates and silverware had already been placed out. You took your normal seat. Elizabeth sat across from you, and Derek took the seat to your left. Cole sat on your right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we had a great time. It was fine. I had fun. It was okay, I guess. That's good in my book. Casually, Mr. Holden sat in the empty seat across the cove. He smiled at you and all the other kids. Mom sat down a platter full of water glasses on the table. She looked down at the gathering. It's a good thing we have 8 chairs. I can't remember the last time we got a group this big over for a meal. Can you pass the drinks down to the other side? Make sure I'll get one. Make sure you all get one. Sure. Those close to the cups obliged and was starting offering waters around. As everyone got set up, Ma chided Elizabeth to take her elbows off the table.
No.
And you shouldn't slouch. She pointed to Mr. Holden, who was leaning forward, both his arms on the table. I'm like that to my sibling. My sibling, they have a big problem with that posture when they sit. They're always having their head like bent all the way down, looking down at their navel, you know. It's like, come on, like you gonna have a hunchback by the time you become an adult. Like by the time you become an old person. Like that's not healthy. She pointed at Mr. Holden, who was leaning forward with both his arms on the table. Oops. Mr. Holden seemed unsure about all the sudden attention and carefully arranged his posture to something suitable for a fancy dinner. He smiled sheepishly at Ma. Elizabeth rolled her eyes, and Ma gave a level look at her. You shouldn't be impolite to a guest in the house either. Elizabeth groaned, long suffering. Ma giggled, Mr. Holden chuckled. It is. You get so used to the habit of how you sit, or how you stand, how you walk. But I guess one thing that motivates me to keep good posture is that I want to make sure that when I am old, I still retain as much mobility as I have as a young person. A lot of you, a lot of you can learn a thing or two from Derek. He has the best manners here. Derek blushed, but it was true. His posture was upright and formal. He even held his fork gracefully. His table manners on top of all his attempts to aid your parents made him the model of a meal attendee behavior. It's nothing. It's true, though. You were a lovely guest. I've noticed that, too. It's always nice when you're over Derek. Derek smiled, and he sat a little taller in his chair. And do you have anything good to say about our other guest? She looked deliberately at Cole with a teasing smirk. Or is there just nothing to say? Well, Cole's my number one, but he still cleans his hands by wiping them on his pants. Oh gosh, I had a big trouble with that. My mama would always yell at me for rubbing my hands. Anytime I would even think to put my hands down after I eat, she'd be like, "Boy, don't rub your hands on your pants." And that would get so irritating. But now I don't do that much. I think I get napkins. Cole frowned at that, and absentmindedly brushed his hands on his pant legs. The fact that he does it as he says it. Your mom laughed lightly. Elizabeth, after all these years, Cole was hardly a guest anymore. Cole smiled awkwardly. Thanks. Manners. Who cares? I don't think it's that big of a deal. You teased Cole for his bad habit. You complimented Derek on his politeness. You joked that Derek was basically an adult. You kept quiet and took a bite of food. I care about manners, so. I wouldn't be a gentleman if I didn't care about manners. So I'm gonna ignore these. You tease Cole for his habit. I can't tease. I do the same thing at this stage of my life. So, you complimented Derek on his politeness. You joked that Derek was basically an adult. You quite took a bite of food. I'll just eat. The parents had made an excellent lunch. You took another bite and minded your business. Everyone ate their meal together and continued to hang out for the afternoon. After food, you and the others played a couple of games and talked about plans for the upcoming year. Time passed by quickly, and soon it was time to part ways. Mr. Holden had talked to your mom, and Cole drifted over to you, knowing that as soon as his dad finished up, he would be leaving. It would be cool to stay, but I have some stuff to do before everything closes today. Yeah, bye. Could you move? I need the phone. Girl, that's so rude. Cole raised an eyebrow. Elizabeth impatiently gestured behind him. Cole realized he was standing right in front of where the receiver was placed. I think I skipped twice again. He sidestepped out of the way and shook his head, clearly thinking Elizabeth was rushing too much. Your sister made a beeline for the phone and started dialing a number who you think was one of her friends. Knowing Elizabeth, she was going to be on there for a while. I would have liked to see how it would be like if Elizabeth's older friends came out to hang out with her, and her friends, they were close friends, and like one of her older friends made like maybe like snarky comments or kind of rude to me as a younger brother, and maybe Cole, my friend, as like younger people who were kind of like, I don't know, you know how sometimes older people can be about young people who are younger than them. And then Elizabeth either has a choice to defend me from her friends or like not defend me from her friends. I would like to know how her dynamic would be if her friends were around, and maybe she might have a friend who's like, oh my god, your brother's so cute. She might have that type of friend. I would like to maybe see that too. I don't know, but I kind of want to see it would be nice to see how the dynamic would be with her friends and us. You, Cove, and Derek shuffled closer to the door. It seemed like Mr. Holden was wrapping up the conversation, so everyone started saying their various farewells.
Talk to you
Cove. We gotta do this again sometime. Yeah, see you. Cove turned to you and smiled slightly. Bye, Pascal. You hug Cove goodbye. You pat Cove on the back. You nudge Cove's shoulder. You ruffle Cove's hair. You wave. I mean, what I do anytime my family leaves, like any family, I always hug them. So if Cove's my family, I would probably hug them goodbye. You step forward and spread your arms wide. Cove only had a moment to react before you encircled him in your arms. Cove hugged you back tightly and his chest rumbled as he laughed. Seriously, dude, we have to hang out later. I'm gonna seriously miss you during school. He offered Cove a high five and the boys clapped their hands together. Cove and his dad soon left after that. Your parents started cleaning up the house, and Elizabeth was still chatting to her friends on the phone. It was just you and Derek left. He elected to stay outside in front of the house to wait for his dad to pick him up. He decided to keep your guest company, although he was originally Cole's visitor. A light summer breeze blew through your hair and Cole shifted his weight from foot to foot. Thanks for waiting with me. He kicked the ground distractedly. That's still gonna be a while, so do you want to go for a walk? Sure, I don't mind. The two of you walked down the street again, just wandering without a destination plan. It was a quiet stroll, too quiet for Colby in the company. You turned to him when you noticed that he wasn't saying a word. That was unusual. Derek always had something he could chat about. You weren't sure if you should ask about it. Somehow you ended up at the old park near the beach. You glanced over to Derek once more, still expected him to say something in a second now. However, none came from him. In fact, now you notice a frown creeping on his face. Derek smiled when he realized you were watching. At least his mouth was turned up. There wasn't anything that really felt happy in the expression. He turned away and a smile fell off his face. His eyes stared intently at the ground and he raised an eyebrow. Is everything okay? If you want to talk about something, I'm here. Derek, what's going on? You kept quiet. Is everything okay? I am a little sad. It's just, with school starting back up again, it's gonna be hard to visit. I'm gonna have homework and clubs and practices and everything else. Sucks. It really sucks to go to different schools. His face screwed up and his fists were closed tightly together. This was really concerning him. What if we don't have time? You channeled some optimism into the conversation. You shared those worries. Do I empathize? Or do I sympathize? It's hard. Okay, maybe I'll sympathize. We'll make time. We can talk over the phone and have plans for weekends. It'll be okay. Derek looked up at the sky. It was orange and purple with little wisps of clouds scattered around. A plane flew high with a jet stream trailing behind it. He then turned to the ground again. Derek's face was tilted far enough down that it was hard to read his expression. Hey, Pascal. I really want to talk to you about something, if you don't mind. There was a pause and you waited for him to finish his thought.
Sorry.
I was just wondering, do you like guys at all? Like, would you ever want to be with someone who was a boy? Sorry if that's weird to ask. I don't want to be with a guy, maybe. I don't know. You didn't answer him. I kind of don't want to talk about that. Maybe. Okay, then he hesitated before finishing the question. You want to ask me out right now? Oh my gosh. He hesitated before finishing this question. Oh, Derek. Oh, Derek. So, what I mean, just, is there any guy you think is kind of cool that you like around here? Not at school or anything like that. Derek, he dug his head further. You thought about it. Boy, if I did, like, you should know that he's trying to ask you out. Come on now. Like, I like you. But I like Cove, Mr. Holden. Yeah, a lot of guys I think are cool. Not right now. I don't really want to say that. Um, this is also, I'm also thought about it. So I was wondering if, for the next step, I have the chance to choose a different affection level. So we're on fawn right now, so we can't go lower than fawn. But you also choose crush. I think that's crush is the last one, right? This is something else after crush. I think it's a different fawn crush, and then I think there's something else maybe after that. I was wondering if I should keep it at fawn for the next level or do crush. Like, do I want to just have a friendship playthrough? Or do I want to have enjoy a demi-romantic fantasy with Cove? Cove and I have become such good friends that perhaps I develop romance for Cove and I explore that fantasy. Um, so it's like, do I say I like Cove or do I say not right now? Or do I not really want to say that? I'm trying to think based on how I want to play the next step. When we do Derek, though, I will say I like you, but it's Cove time, not your turn, Derek. How about I say not right now? I get that. Uh, so Derek pulled himself together. Somewhat meekly, he looked at you while he tried to project confidence. His posture was too tight for you to believe it. He was nervous. You know, thinking ahead and everything is important. You gotta get yourself a game plan and all that. It's good to make plans, especially backup plans. He babbled, full of energy and forced gusto. Well, anyways, I heard about this thing where people make pacts with their good friends that if they don't find anyone else, then they get together. Oh, you want to see? That's how you see on TV. Like they say, oh, we'll get married when we grow up. To get together, like they get married and stuff. So I was thinking, since it's good to have plans, it might be cool if we did something like that. His eyes widened and he started making frantic hand gestures. Just so you know, then we never have to worry about the future or finding someone. Instead of like a whole decade in the future, forever from now. We have graduated high school and probably college too. We have jobs and be really grown up. I mean, we'll probably have our own places and maybe our own pets and student loans and cars. Derek babbled on for a while more as if all the words he held in silence during your walk had burst out now all at once. So yeah, what do you think? That's a good idea. I think having a backup plan sounds smart. You accepted the idea. You accepted the deal because you were fond of Derek. I'll think about it. I don't think that will work. I'm sorry, Derek. Do you like me? AC, what's the? I'll think about it. Are you gonna say I'll think about it, or do you like me? Do I, do I not put him on the spot and humor him, or do I just come out and say, do you like me? Like just say that. Just come out and say that. Um. Do you like me? Of course I like you, but it's not. He had to pause actually to find a way to explain himself. It's well, you don't have to think about that kind of thing right now. It's better worry. It's better to worry about all that later when we're grown up. That's why it's a good idea to have a plan, you know. And well, honestly, I think you and me will work out for the best for that. So, okay. Well, I still have to choose. Okay. I'll think about it. It's kind of a big decision for just being put on the spot. Yeah, sure. Don't worry about it. It was just an idea. Thanks for hearing me out and answering my questions and stuff. Oh, he felt a little worried that Cole wasn't happy. When he saw your face, he smiled encouragingly. I promise I'm not mad. Ooh. Y'all hear that in the background? The police. I promise I'm not mad. I was just wondering. Oh, Derek. I'm sure things will be okay in the future, no matter what. You just nodded. You didn't spend much longer at the park after that. Derek didn't want to miss his dad, so you both made your way back to your street. Derek found all kinds of things to talk about as you walked by side. Wait. Derek found all kinds of things to talk about as you walked side by side back to your street. Then you plopped down on the curb outside your house, hugging your arms around your legs. There's only been 2 times I've known for sure that someone liked me, that someone had a crush on me. There was one when I was in kindergarten. In kindergarten, there was this girl who I didn't like. I didn't like her, but she liked me, and she was kind of weird, to be honest. It was one of I have 3 core memories of this girl. So the one that strikes me the most is that there was one time, was it kindergarten? That's probably not true. Is it 1st grade? One of those. We were sitting in the cafeteria at lunch. I put my hand, so you know those, I don't know if you've had tables where it's like a big table. It kind of looks like a picnic table. There's a big table, and then it has seats, like a big bench that's attached to the underside of the table. So you sit on it, and there's benches on both sides. So I have my hand next to me, and obviously people can sit to my left and to my right. And she was sitting to my left, and I had my hand on the table, just sitting down, you know, like as I was sitting on the bench. And she went and turned around to her right, because I was sitting to her right, and she went and planted a kiss with her lips on my hand. And I just looked up at her, and she just smiled and giggled. I'm like, girl, well, I didn't say anything, to be honest. I think in the moment, I just took my hand back and continued talking. Like, I was just like shocked. I didn't know what to say. But I'm like, girl, you can't just kiss people's hands. Like, no. Like, what? So that's what she did. There was one time. Oh no, this is a different girl. Never mind, it's a different girl. So I don't have to say that. But yeah, she was one of the only 2 people to come to my birthday party, though. It was her and one of my other classmates, who I remember had a stutter. It was the first person I ever heard that I ever saw with a stutter. But yeah, those 2 people who came to my birthday party, which was sad. Only two classmates that came to our birthday party. I invited the whole class, so I appreciated her for that. Oops, I opened this game twice by accident. Okay, and then the second time someone had a crush on me was this girl in. This was 1st grade now, I think. Yeah, so I think the first girl I mentioned was kindergarten, and then this girl was in 1st grade. If I'm remembering right. Yes, it was 1st grade. So I was playing. This is so silly. So the way that the classroom was arranged is that there were rows of desks in the classroom. So I sat at a desk next to someone. I think there were like 4 chairs to a desk. So I sat at a desk next to someone who was a close friend at the time, And we had this game that we played called Pencil Family. Pencil Family. So basically, we took um, like like wooden pencils of various sizes, and we pretended that like one was a mom, and one was a mom, one was a dad, one was a child, and we had a whole like pencil family. So we were playing Pencil Family like we usually did in the class. Now I think about it's kind of silly, but we had a Pencil Family, and we were just playing. And then uh, the girl that liked me sat behind me, and she went and no, I think she gave the guy that I was sitting next to, my friend I was playing Pencil Family with. She gave him a note, and he gave it to me, and I read it, and she said, "Will you marry me?" or something like that, or "Do you like me?" or "Will you date me?" something like that. And I felt that at the time, if I didn't like someone and I didn't want to date, I should just be honest and say no. So I went and told my friend to tell her, no, I don't. Which might you have the right to say no, obviously, but I guess some people might think that's a little harsh. So I just said no, but I didn't mean it in a mean way. So I told her no, I don't want to date her, and she went, and you could hear that she had stomped. She stomped multiple times, right? She just stomped in anger. So then when I got up from my seat, she went and stuck a leg out, and she tried to trip me as I walked, as I got up and walked down the way. And I'm like, girl, I didn't say anything at the time, but in my mind, I'm like, she really tried to trip me because she's upset that I want to date her. That's disrespectful. That makes me not want to date you even more, to be honest. But and another time was that she and a girl who there was a girl that I called myself having a crush at the time, the same time. She was pretty. I thought she looked nice. Um, so it was she and her were friends, and um, she came up to me. They felt the need to come up to me, right, and say they have boyfriends, and I was like, okay, and that's supposed to make me jealous or something like that. I guess they're trying to make me jealous, but it's like we have boyfriends. I'm like, okay, nice, that's wonderful, you know. I didn't feel anything. Even the girl I supposedly had a crush on, like I didn't even feel anything. I was like, oh, okay, nice. And I went back to my table and not said anything. So those are the two instances of a girl having a crush on me that I remember. I don't think anyone's ever told me that after, like since. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that story time. I think I read this already. Yeah. His voice was comforting, and you were grateful that Derek was keeping you both distracted from the inevitable. For a little while longer, it was still summer vacation. Hold on now. Chill chat. Okay. I was just saying Discord message. Okay. You listened while he excitedly told you all about the new action movie coming out in a few months. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And then you watched his brow pinch as he described the new ball tricks he had been working on perfecting. It was easy to laugh along to his tales. You enjoyed the shine in his green eyes most when the conversation shifted to a funny story about his little brothers. It was almost hard to believe that much time had passed all the way when a couple of short honks rang out in the neighborhood. Snickering, Derek scratched the back of his neck. Dad's here. Yeah, I think about my old friends and old classmates and old situations from elementary school and middle school. I'm like, I just wonder how are they? This is one person I've had. This is one close friend I had in middle school. I just think about, where did he go? Where did he go? I think about that. I just thought about it the other day. It's like, do they ever think about me? Like, oh, that was this guy named blah blah blah. I wonder how he's doing. I wonder if people think about me. Like I think about them sometimes. You looked up at the street and spotted a van coming around the corner. Mrs. Suarez cheerily waved her arm out the window from the shotgun seat. Oh, and Mom too. Yes, we know what that means. Derek rose to his feet and brushed some dirt off his pants. He followed his lead as the car rolled to a stop in front of your house. The van's side door slowly and laboriously opened. On the inside was Jorge with a victoriously wide grin as he tugged the heavy door open the rest of the way so Derek had a way in. Nicholas. There was an accent on the A, if I remember the first time we saw him, but there's no accent. Nicholas was there too, and you heard him well before you saw him. We're here! Looking past Jorge, you notice Nicholas bouncing against his straps in full force. Thanks for coming, you guys. Hey boys, nice seeing you. Holding onto the sides of the open door, Derek leaned into the car to give Nicholas a moment of one-on-one attention. You could hear the kids' giggles over everything else. Faintly, you could hear the conversation was happening between Derek's parents, but you couldn't make out a single word. And before you could do anything with that thought, Derek glanced over his shoulder. He paused and held your gaze softly. Then Derek let go of the car to stand back in front of you one last time. I gotta go. Well, you know that, but bye. It was real cool hanging out with you today in the summer. Not even his usual cheer enthusiasm keep his sadness away this time. His voice grew quieter, and he scuffed his foot on the pavement.
You had a good summer break, huh?
But it had to end sometime. Yeah, and it was the best summer too. I wouldn't have wanted to spend it without you. I'm glad we met before it started. You nodded. I'm glad we met before it started. That makes it like we're not gonna see each other again. I don't know. Let's be happy. Let's be cheery and optimistic after the little heart-to-heart conversation we had with him. Derek's gaze had been wandering, but now it's fixed solely on you and all. His whole demeanor brightened. Oh, look at him. Really? Uh-huh. You always make things better. I can't imagine a summer break without you now. Me either. You hugged him goodbye. You gave a shoulder a pat. You high-fived him. You gave him a thumbs up. You smiled. I mean, he likes to high-five people, right? Raising your hand high, Derek met your challenge. He leapt up and put weight behind a slap. You laughed and shook the sting from your hand. But the time had finally come, and Derek hopped up into the cabin of the van. Jorge and Nicolas waved to you from their seats. The adults shouted their goodbyes next from the front. You laughed at their muffled voices, and Mrs. Suarez leaned out of her window.
Have a good one.
You realized that you probably couldn't hear us. Mr. Suarez and I wanted to say goodbye, Pascal. Yes, goodbye. Derek's dad leaned over to his wife to give his farewells. Bye. Thanks for the fun summer. I'm so happy I got to see you all again. Bye. See you later. Come back soon. Don't worry, you haven't seen the last of me. Bye. Thanks for the fun summer. You turned to Jorge and Nicolas because it wouldn't have been the same without them. For the two, Jorge seemed to be the one listening, and you watched his stunned look melt into a warm one. Take care, Pascal. And Derek closed the door for Jorge this time. He moved the massive door with much more ease. After the car moved further down the street before flipping around to drive up the hill and out of the neighborhood, you remained rooted there to the curb and watched the Suarez family drive away. You realized that you got a chance to see the whole family again, but they were gone, and now you were left to your own devices. Pivoting around, you made your way inside. Now that it was quiet, you yawned and decided it was a good time to settle in for tonight. Stretching your arms over your head, you noticed that the living room and phone had happened to be free. Let's call Lee. Let's see everyone before summer ends. You picked up the receiver and quickly punched in the familiar number while going to take a seat on the couch. Soon enough, after explaining the situation to the housekeeper, Lee answered. Hi, Lee. Can you talk? Definitely. We practically have to. My gosh, can you believe it's almost time for school to start? What happened to our summer? School starts the first thing tomorrow for me. Yeah, please. And I thought starting next week was bad enough. Enjoy your last week. Oh, I will. I hope you survive your first day. Me too. I need a good year. Ditto. And at least summer was nice while it lasted, right? We were busy. Yeah. Finally, you thought about all the best moments you made this summer. Lee was there for some, but there were still many you hadn't filled it in on yet. Fill it in on yet. You reminisce about a moment of your summer. You began to speak about. What's the most fun moment we could talk about? The library. You went to Cole's house for dinner. When Cole's mom took you for a while. Oh, we could talk about the wild ride when Cole's mom took us on. That's nice. Oh, one time Cole's mom had me and Cole go with her on this ride all over town. Why'd you do that? Just cause? Sort of. We got caught in a sunshine when she wanted to help us air dry, and it kept going on from there. She rolled down the window. It was super windy. We went to move without even knowing what it was. She bought me everything I wanted at the burger place. Oh yeah. Everything? Everything. Wow. You reminisce about a moment in summer? Well, let's talk about her now. What was your big highlight of the summer, Lee? Talking to you is always the best part of my summer. Aw, even though it was a phone call, you knew that she was winking at you. You laughed. You shook your head. Come on, tell me. Good. I'm glad you picked the right answer. You shook your head. It was a moment before you remembered that Lee couldn't see you, but you had a good feeling that she understood what your pause meant. Alright, okay. So a high point for me is when I took that trip with my parents to Europe. It was amazing. You only continued to go over your adventures until you both were yawning to each other over the phone. At that, you decided it was time to say goodbye for now. You did have school to wake up for in the morning. Bye, Lee. Pascal, talk to you later. You left the phone on the side table for now. Looking at the clock on the wall, you saw that there was only about 10 minutes before your moms would be insisting you had to go to bed so you could be rested enough for school. You stretched your legs out on the couch and sighed in defeat, watching the minute hand change 1 minute closer to bedtime. You rearranged yourself, feeling restless, and looked out the window. Initially, you spotted a figure out in the hills. It was Clove. When the surprise faded, you realized it wasn't that much of a shock at all. It was exactly something Clove would do. You went outside to meet up with him. You ran off to go see him. You left him alone. You smacked the window to get his attention. You opened the window to call out to him. Let's smack the window to get his attention. Grinning, you sneakily crept over to the window. When you were right in front of the glass, you slapped both your hands hard against it. Cole's body visibly jumped where he stood and his head whipped around, trying to find the source of the noise. When you noticed that the clatter in the window behind him, when you noticed that the clatter in the window behind him, a window from your house, he tried to shake his head in disapproval, but even from that distance, you knew he was smiling. Amused with your own antics, you waved at Cole. You went outside to talk to him. Strolling casually, you went over to the front door. When you arrived, you noticed how many fireflies were out that night. They drifted along lazily, barely minding your presence as you waited to reach the top of the hill. Clove turned towards you as you approached, and you noticed right away that Clove was still a little sour about the scare. Hi. You grinned in response to Cole's look, and he shook his head in defeat. Sighing dramatically, he seemed to finally let it go. Hey, what are you doing out here?
Nothing.
Not really. He shrugged, seeming unhappy with his own answer. You stared at him, waiting for him to continue. Well, I guess I was kind of feeling weird about stuff, so I'm getting some fresh air before bed. You really should go to sleep. I know how you feel. I feel good. I hope you feel better. You shrugged. You nodded. He nodded. He put his mouth pulled into a bent smile. Cove let himself fall back onto his butt and all the way back down, so he was laying on his back. He looked up at the sky. You laid yourself down. You sat in the grass. You stood there. You sat on his chest. Sat on his chest. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm just gonna lay myself down next to him. You lowered yourself to lay back on the hill. He had been lost in thought. I was probably waiting for you to situate yourself, but he started speaking unprompted again.
Sorry.
For being kind of awkward when my mom was leaving. Surprised you said at him a moment. You weren't expecting that. I just wanted you to know that I talked to my dad about how I felt and things. It's okay now. You were genuinely glad to hear that, and it brought a smile to your face, but your thoughts quickly wandered back to your first day you met Mr. Holden. Did his dad confess that? Did his dad confess about that? From the way Cove talked, you guess he hadn't. So there was more Cove and his dad to talk about, but it was a relief to know that they had made a start. That was not a good time to bring about what you were thinking, though. You could wait longer to say it. I love how we just keep pushing the bribery situation back and back, further in the future, into the background. I mean, it was almost unbelievable how much of an impact he made on your life just by moving in next door. You can even imagine what your days might have looked like in the world where you hadn't met him. Cove glanced back at you, waiting for a response, and you had no idea what to say. Then, still without a word from you, Cole gave an exaggerated shrug. What? It's you. Huh? He snickered before answering. He looked thoroughly amused at your reaction. It's what you do all the time, so I'm being so I'm being you. What did he do? He just shrugged, exaggerated. Is that you do that all the time too. So do you, Cove. You stunned, he noticed enough to take note of it. I don't do it that much. Not being able to argue with this, he accepted it. You felt bashful about his joke. I don't do it that much. A Cove burst into laughter. When it slowed, he continued to grin. Honestly, there weren't many people you could think of who would tease you about something like that. Returning his smile, you realized there was no denying that you two have been around each other for a long time. Cole broke the quiet before it could fully settle.
See you tomorrow.
Hey, I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, see you then. With a final wave, Cove headed for home, but you stayed there for a few minutes longer. Your mind kept going back to the simple statement. See you tomorrow. No matter how much was changing around you, there were some things in your life that always seemed to remain true. The hills felt warm to you that night. Before you knew it, you were getting comfortable under the covers in your room. Your mind couldn't help but still be buzzing with thoughts about the future. You felt excited. Let's be excited for the future. There was little doubt in your mind that things were moving forward. You couldn't wait to find out what changes were waiting for you on the horizon. Slowly, your eyes grew heavy as you drifted off to sleep. Your mind spinning with wishful thoughts. No matter what happened next, you could only hope that you would make the most of it. You once snatched in a dream when a noise from the outside world jostled you. Your eyes snapped open. The light clatter continued. Now that you were more alert, you could distinguish it as a tapping sound, quiet, slow but persistent. Each beat was like being poked. You couldn't ignore it. You lifted your head from the pillow and looked for the source. Not much work was needed to puzzle it out. It was from the window. With that, you knew exactly what it was. From the color of the light filtering into your room, it was too early for anyone to be awake, including the sun. It had barely hauled itself over the horizon. But that didn't stop some people, it seems, at Cove, as he always tends to do. You sat up in bed and opened the window wide. Cool air, not yet warmed by the day, tickled your face as it pushed into your room. And as you'd expected, there was your neighbor crouching on your windowsill. He was fully dressed, though not for school. Oh, he's about to go surfing for the last time. Look at him. He was wearing a wetsuit and a fun smile. How do I get rid of this thing again? Okay. Oh my gosh. Always climbing people's windows, Cole. Oh. It looks so nice. Hi, Pascal. Hi. You stand back, blinking. So technically, we won't be back to school for a few more hours. His voice was delicate, yet deliberate. Each word kept an explanation. Classes haven't started yet, so do you want to hit the beach with me one more time this summer? Oh, it's so cute. Always. Here we go again. It's way too early, Cove. You crazy. Cove, you so cute. He is so cute. He gave it a decisive nod. Oh my gosh. Boy, only you would come up to my window asking to surf this early in the morning. What? How would I respond in this situation? I like my sleep. So should I give some like playful resistance? It's way too early, Cove. You crazy. Um, um, is this a serious statement? Okay, it's not. Good. But you both knew that you weren't going to go back to sleep after this. Cove chuckled bashfully. You rushed to get changed to something suitable while Cove climbed back down to ground level. Your limbs, still half asleep, struggled somewhat as you attempted to coordinate them into a swimsuit, but you got there in the end. Seeing you were tiptoeing out of your front door and clutching a towel, Cove was already there to greet you. Your eyes met. Cove's gaze darted to your destination and back to you. You checked the door was closed, gave him a thumbs up, and the two of you leapt into action. Wordlessly, you began to run down the familiar path ahead, Cove beside you. The thrill of your illicit outing made you want to laugh. Not that you dared. If anyone in your family looked out and saw you, then your summer would be back to being over. Wait, I did not read that right. The thrill of your illicit outing made you want to laugh. Not that you dared. If anyone in your family looked out and saw you, then your summer would be back to being over. One glance at Cove told you that he was feeling exactly the same, holding back snickers for fear of being hurt and caught. The towel streamed out from under your arm like a cape. You were running so fast downhill that simply keeping your balance and not stumbling down was a real treat. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough of one to make your wait. It wasn't enough of one to make you slow your pace. For every step you took, the beach was a little closer, and the day a little brighter. What lay ahead of you would arrive, and you were happy to meet it. Oh, that's nice. In between. So what's happened in between? Okay. Square, dark brown, rectangle. Okay, everything should be the same. There's nothing really to change. You know what? I should have done acne. I should have done acne for that previous chapter. In my early teenage years, I had gotten a little acne, but in my late teenage, like middle to late teenage years, I never really had a big problem like some people had in high school. I should have done acne for that step. Linda, glasses, not earrings, lips, birthmark. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to add probably um, these to clothing types now. I don't know why I didn't add a bracelet. Why didn't I add a bracelet beforehand? Yeah. So, I mean, I've never actually worn a skirt or a dress in real life. Probably because my parents would not let me get that. But I did buy makeup. So, and I want to get back to it. I just kind of gave it up because it was kind of too hard. But I did buy some makeup, and trying to experiment with a little thing. So if I had more freedom like the MC of our life have, maybe I might have also been wearing dresses and skirts as well. So I'll add that as a change. Nail color, nose ring. Oh, also I had a nose. I do have one actually. So, oh, I don't have that. I have an actual like circle on the side instead of like this, but it's fine. Okay. Headscarf. Oh, I didn't even know this. Oh, that's nice. They gave Muslims who are hijab. They have options for them. That's nice. They also probably for Sikhs. Sikhs usually have a turban that wraps around like that. Is this the do-rag? Is that what this is supposed to be? Oh my gosh, they gave us a do-rag, period. Okay, but I won't wear any of that though. Nail length. So I had a problem with biting my nails, but that was one of the things I trained myself out of doing. So I let my nails grow. I still let my nails grow out pretty long. I cut them when they get too long. I never painted my nails before, but I don't know. I'm not really a fan of colored nails that much. I thought about if I did, maybe I might get them black. But I like if that like have you ever had nails buffed and have like a shine or a sheen to them? I like gloss, clear gloss, like sheen nails. I like that the most. I just say my nail length is short. I probably say that. So I'll do long. My nails are kind of like medium right now. Let me see. I'll just say short. Okay. Yeah. Let me look at. I just want to look at our life page again to make sure that I'm thinking about the right step. Young adulthood. Okay, yeah. So this fits. This fits. Okay, so I think. Oh wait, no, I'm done. Okay, so yeah, they do have. So they have love and then crush too. Okay, so I was like, there's something after crush. I couldn't think of it. Comfort level, nervous, relaxed, direct. I don't know what does that mean exactly. Like, I'm thinking that do I change my comfort level? I don't know exactly what that means. Normalize comfort level. Okay, director's blunt, forward, extra confident, unconcerned with being polite or how people might react to what they say. No, I'm not like that. Okay, I'm relaxed. Okay, so I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna have a demi-romantic fantasy. This is a fantasy version of my life that I never had anyway. So it's like, why not? Let's have a crush on Cove and see how that is. Relax crush. Begin step 3 at relax crush. Are you sure? Yeah. Code customization, appearance, personality, both. Oh yeah, no, neither. We're not gonna custom our code. Since you're romantically interested in Cove and are old enough to start being physically affectionate more seriously, you could choose what initiative level he has throughout this step. Making sure the player experiences what they want is important in our life. Wait, make sure the player experiences what they want is important in our life, but always putting your choice first can potentially make a relationship feel one-sided. So we had some flexibility in how it works out. Low initiative means that Cole would occasionally ask to touch the MC, and in those situations, there will always be an opportunity to say yes or no. For example, he won't simply lean over and kiss the MC as a greeting or an emotional moment. If a piece of physical interaction will be either initiated or approved by the player before it happens. Middle initiative Middle initiative means there will be certain times when Cole requests to touch the MC, many chances to initiate affection on your own, and he will also be pretty regularly give and he will wait and also he will pretty regularly give affection automatically. One example would be giving the MC a kiss because he's happy emotional or something else. In other situations, you can choose not to make the first move in order to give Cole the space to be the one that acts afterwards. Overall, the love interest can get romantic, but the player's agency will take priority. High initiative includes everything the middle does, but also means the player agency will be reduced to a high favor of wait, to be reduced to a degree in favor of having Cove give physical affection even more frequently and with less prompting. Instead of all the major affection situations being led by a choice menu for you to decide on, some will instead be replaced by Cove's acting automatically. This level is only recommended if you feel very comfortable with physical affection and would prefer to simply see it happen rather than always holding the reins on it. However, this level is mostly relevant if Cove ends up as your official boyfriend at some point. Situations where high level initiative makes a difference tends to come up in scenes that are exclusive to being in a relationship. The parts that are also included in the middle initiative will also think whether you're dating or not. Once you pick your level, it cannot be changed part way through a step. The choice only comes up at the very beginning of the story section. We hope you enjoy whichever initiative option you decide on. Okay, that's nice that they give you the option to determine how much what what consent to the romantic and physical affection, like how consent looks like for you. That's nice to give the option. So I'm gonna do probably middle initiative. Let me see, because they say that I don't know if I want it to be that every single time I want him to make a romantic action, I have to like approve it or not. You know. So I think the middle initiative might be more my style. And also, a lot of stuff happens when you're dating, and so I can choose if we start dating or not. So it's like if we're not dating, you know, it won't be just random kisses, But high initiative seems like it's too much, too much, too much, too much, too much to me. Um, I know some people like just being all romantic and all like lovey-dovey stuff like that, but I don't know. That just doesn't appeal to me that much. So, middle initiative. We'll start that. I think that's good. Maybe I should have saved just in case I didn't like it, so I can come back to this. But the start of class, Oh, I can't. Okay, let me save right here just in case I don't like it. Okay. The start of classes ended the relaxed, free days of summer. It didn't take long for you to get back to the swing of the school year routine. Schedules and homework became the new normal. Derek wasn't around nearly as much. With school and after-school activities, there weren't many opportunities for him to take the trip out to your neighborhood. Sometimes you hear that he was at a training camp or something like that, but you weren't always sure what he was up to. But you still kept in touch over the phone as best you could. You kind of lost contact as time went on. Um, this is Cope centered. Would I be the one to lose? I probably would, to be honest. I'm the type of person that I don't really keep in contact with people I went to school with or I knew that much. There's some exceptions. It's like maybe Derek could be a person I kept in contact with, especially with how close we got. So let's keep in touch at least. Jeremy Kid would disappear after that summer, and no one ever heard from him again. Where he went or what he might be up to was a mystery. You saw more Miranda around since you had hung out with her on her birthday. She opened up to you. The two of you talked regularly. She was the same towards Cove. After a while, all three of you developed a real friendship together. Most summers came and went like the waves on the shore coming in and out. In the second year of high school, someone new started to visit Sunset Bird, a sunny girl named Tara Brooke. She was a friend Cove made due to them being ocean obsessed. To them both being ocean obsessed. Tara was more than glad to befriend you too. Someone close to Cove had to be good company, she felt. You were pleased to get along with her as well. Funnily enough, Tara was also extremely tight with Miranda, who she had known for a little longer, for even longer than Cove. And the four of you were able to create a small friend circle. Okay, new friends. As for your home life, the Whitlocks also had developments. Changing laws and public perception countrywide made it possible for your moms to openly wear their wedding rings without questions. Though they had a wedding years ago, it was only recently that the union was officially recognized everywhere in the United States. That was a good day to say the least. Oh, that's nice. So I guess like it's kind of like a because same-sex marriage was legalized in the United States in 2015. So I guess we have a very specific timeline. Um, Not a very specific, but kind of like a rough timeline about when the events of this game kind of happened. So I guess this in between part takes place around 2015, a little bit after 2015, maybe. Elizabeth came into her own and stopped being quite as irritable. She no longer worried about perceived childishness as she grew up for real. She didn't even mind being called Lizzie again, although most people use Liz. She eventually graduated high school and moved out to attend college in another state. Oh, it was a lot for you to adjust to your older sister being gone. Liz never let you forget her role in your life, though, and kept in touch. Cole's relationship with his family improved over the years. Kira visited several times after that summer, and things became easier for the two. He was also closer with his dad than ever before. He knew they talked more, and that helped prevent a lot of friction before it could start. However, Cole grew into someone no one would call social. Okay, interesting. He kept to himself usually. He cared for a few connections did have, but didn't reach outside them. Cole loved staying inside and learning just as much as ever. By this point, his studies had paid off, and he had been right near the top of the class by his last years of high school. Things had shifted between you and Cole. You had been friends for years, but the closer you became, the more you felt for him. You didn't view him in a purely platonic way anymore. It was strange to look back on it all. The future faded into your present, and then it was simply the past. Even the most fundamental parts of your life couldn't last forever. You felt that the most pointedly, you felt that the most pointedly the day you inevitably graduated high school. It was over, and you would not be going back ever again. From now on, what came next was your choice. You'd be directing your own life. That was where you were currently. The summer after high school ended. Okay, the first summer of true freedom. What used to be a reprieve from the typical was now going to be a first step into adulthood. Okay, 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 okay. One fine summer morning, you took in what you had. Wait, you took in what had become a very special scene. The whole family having a dinner together. Oh, look at you, Elizabeth! Look at you! Okay, you've grown into such a fine woman. You look so pretty. Oh my gosh. Your big sister Liz hadn't lived at home full time for a couple years, but she arrived last week to spend the season here since it was an off semester for her. She wanted to make sure she was in town because you had now also graduated high school, so you knew how much rarer these moments would become in the future. You watched her on as Liz laughed good nature. Wait, you watched on as Liz laughed good naturedly over a comment Mom made. Her Elizabeth only mindset had only been a phase. Nearly any nickname was welcome at this point in her life. Strangely, even though she moved away, you you lately felt closer to her than you had in a long time. You idly scooped up more of your breakfast and chewed absentmindedly. You were a vegetarian, you were a vegan, pescatarian, pollitarian, picket eater, you generally ate whatever. At this point in my life, I'm kind of more open to be eating stuff I probably wouldn't eat. So, the meal that you have reflected that. It includes just about everything your moms had made, though you often made your own food nowadays. With Liz around, though, your parents made even more options than usual. Your sister had been a vegetarian for a while, and they wanted to make sure she had choices too. Oh, look at them now. They're growing older. Conversation had gone idly, without you fully taking the words in until your ears were piqued when Ma started on a bit of town gossip. And so that's how I heard the news. All right. Now stop burying the lead and tell us. What is this so-called news? Ma giggled as she cast a look across the table, satisfied that she had everyone's attention. Well, it turns out the Donalds will be renting out that condo up the street as per Sunset Bird tradition for the first time in what must be nearly 2 decades. A chorus of gasps, got shocked expressions. Wait, a chorus of gasps and shocked expressions were had all around. At the initial shock, her eyebrows pinched. Ma may consider them by name, but you and Liz always view them as exclusively as the mean old couple who would yell at anyone under 25 who crossed their paths. Yeah, I was like, okay, is that the old people? Yeah. Your Ma continued on with the story, spreading strawberry jam over a piece of toast as she did so. They've decided not to be taking trips anymore. Friends and family will be visiting them at their home. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. I have to make these voices distinct. That's nice for them then. Have a good summer. Mean grandparents and no grandkids away from us. That's a relief. I'm kind of sad they can't travel anymore. I hope they're okay, even if they are mean. My thoughts exactly, Liz. Finally, they can piss off and have anything to comment on the development. I mean, I kind of hope, they kind of hope they okay. I don't want them to die. They're getting kind of old. I hope they doing well, even if they are mean. They've had a very full life. It's nothing to sneeze at. And you be nice, Liz. You don't want to end up like them, do you? You and your sister cracked smiles at the joke. At least they won't be here to yell at my children anymore. Lonnie. And that blunt comment got laughter from all three of you. Engrossed in conversation once more, you continue to chat with your family until the meal was over. Step 3. Third time's the charm. As it went, once the food was eaten, the cleanup had to be done. Liz took the role of washing the dishes and passed them to you for dried and putting away. You had a set of cups in front of you that needed to go on top of the shelf of the cabinet. It was effortless to do. You're very tall. The task was pretty straightforward for you. Were tall. I mean, I'm pretty tall. I'm always the one that people ask me to put stuff and get stuff done on high shelves. And that was simply your lot in life. You had always been vertically gifted. You felt great about how things were. You hoped that you still might grow more. You wish that you stopped growing earlier. You didn't think about it that much. You even know what to think about. I mean, I feel like I'm pretty tall and I'm kind of like, I like my height, but sometimes when I see other people that are taller than me, I'm like, how dare you beat me? Height is my thing. You know, how dare you beat me? I kind of hope that I grow just a little bit more to get a few more inches. That's probably not gonna happen though. But it's so weird seeing people at college. I'm seeing a whole lot of people that I finally have to look at them in the eyes or look up, just a glance up a little bit if I stand in front of them, which is something I'm not really used to. That was a struggle for you, to remember how you used to feel so content about it when you were younger. Liz shook you out of your internal musing by staring up and starting up impromptu conversation. She seemed to be voicing the thoughts that had been buzzing around in her own head. I have to say, going back another semester this fall is pretty intimidating. I think that after the first year or two, I'd have had a handle on things, but no. You stole a glance at her, placing cups in a proper place. I guess it's only fair. My first round was pretty general classes, and year one of my architecture major was the basics. Now I feel serious. I have to actually know something. The lash again was flippantly airy, but the way she scrubbed at the plates held more force than necessary. I know you can handle it. I think it's cool that you want to be an architect. That does sound hard. You simply shrugged. You merely listened to her venting. That does sound hard. There were a lot of expectations you had to live up to if you wanted to succeed. Your older sister's mouth quirked into a small smile. It'll be fine, one way or another. Oh, and I'm not trying to scare you away from college, even if that's even your plan. What's going on with that anyway? You had a solid plan set for a long time. You came to a firm conclusion recently. You had kind of a general idea. You had absolutely no idea. You hadn't even let yourself think about it. It was too much. I mean, I haven't. At this point, I had a general idea of what I wanted to do. I still don't quite have a major decided. I'm gonna wait until the last minute to declare it because I'm still trying to think about what I want to do. I'm not someone who's been like, okay, I want to become a doctor, so I'm gonna go to school, go to medicine, go pre med, and then go to residency. I'm not that type of person. You answered the question as much as you were able and willing to. Liz's smile grew more reassuring as you did. You've made it through 12 years of full-time education already. You've got plenty going for you. Sometimes it felt hard to believe your public school experience was over, right? In the end. I mean, it's been 3 years at this point for me, but I still think about it like, wow, I am a full-grown adult now. You know? You graduated at the top of your class. I wish I was a valedictorian, but um, that didn't happen. But I did get high grades. I was in the top percentile, top 10th percentile, or 90th percentile of my district, but I didn't get valedictorian. So you soared through with high marks, and you're gonna miss it. You felt satisfied leaving off there, and you wish it could have gone better, and you were just truly glad I was truly behind you. Yes, to be honest. You achieved a lot and could take what you learned with moving forward. With you moving forward. Liz picked up on the silence her question ended up creating. She decided it was time to make a closing statement on the topic.
You're a good boy.
Pascal, do what's best for you, and we'll be here to back it up. Thanks, Liz. And at that, Liz was happily pleased with your final wish. She waved a soapy-soaked hand in a farewell and moved on to her next task for the cleanup job. Oh my gosh, she's like a she's giving mom kind of a little bit. She refocused on getting the last pieces back up where they truly belong. She's not biologically related to our moms, but she's kind of reminded me of them. You refocus on getting the last pieces put back where they belong. You eventually moved on to a new chore, but that was interrupted by the sound of your cell phone. It was the phone's default ringtone. Used a silly novelty song as a ringtone. You set one of your most beloved songs as a ringtone. The song was just set to vibrate. I do actually. I have a silly song that actually I have. From Italia. Um, it's this is so the characters of Italia, they have character songs that are released, and one of the character songs for America, the United States, I don't remember what the name of the song is, but it goes, uh, hey hey, we are the USA, hey hey, number one USA. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not patriotic, but I feel like it's too good to, it's too good to pass this up. I could engage in a little patriotism, So I said that as a ringtone, just for fun. Hey, hey, number one USA. So I don't really hear it that much because I usually have my phone vibrate, but you usually picked it up from the table where you placed it earlier. The phone was a couple years old at this point, having been a 16th birthday gift from your parents. Decided which model to get, but you got to pick the color it was. If I got to pick the color, it would be, oh, this is hard. Red or rose gold? Ooh, I love red, but rose gold might seem better for technology. I'll say rose gold. And it was just a phone. You didn't do anything to decorate it. Yeah, I'm not the person to decorate my phones. This, I mean, I feel like I should probably personalize my phone, and I should probably add more personality to my stuff in general, but I just don't do it. The screen lit up as you gave a little device a swipe with one finger. You were informed that the caller ID was Lee. You weren't surprised. Despite having busy and busier lives and not living in the same town, you still had a good relationship with your cousin of the same age. Especially once the miracle of the both of you having your own phones actually happened. She got hers first though. Tapping at the accept button, you answered a call. A familiar, bubbly voice came through right after. Look at her, she's pretty too. I've always loved her ways, and they look nice. They fit her nicely as a young adult, and I like her earrings too. The hoops are nice. Hey, Pascal. Hiya. Hiya. I trust I'm not interrupting anything major? Only some cleaning around the house. Oh, then you're welcome for my call. A distraction from that must have been desperately needed. Thank you. Yes, thank you, my dear cousin. Hey, I love doing chores, you joke. I like cleaning, you protested earnestly. It's good to hear from you. I know you couldn't see it, you shook your head at that. Yes. She giggled, and you could hear the jangle of the jewelry she must be wearing. Nothing amazing's happening to me either. I'm bored and felt like chatting. My morning shift ended, so I'm free for the rest of the day. Woo! That's good. You're off your part-time job today. You haven't started working anywhere yet, so you can relate. I wish this was me, but my parents made me get a job in my last year of high school. The last 2 years. Last 2 years. I think it was last year. Or last 2 years. I don't remember. It was either last year or last 2 years of high school. They made me get a part-time job at a grocery store. So yeah, I guess I'll say that. Like you, Lee had started dipping her toes into the workforce as of late, and may keep in touch frequently even more complicated, but you both manage. What about you? It's been pretty normal. That's you then. So, how's Mr. Cove Holden doing? There was a teasing bent to her tone. She was never willing to let up on what was going on between the two of you. But that name was incredibly familiar to your ears. Cove, your next door neighbor for the past decade at this point. Two of you were close. That was all you could think on it. He was your best friend. At least you hadn't admitted you felt more than that just yet. He was an important friend, but you secretly hoped that he'd tell you he felt more than that. He was someone you had affection for, but you didn't want to take the relationship further. He was far more than just someone who lived on the same street. He was your boyfriend. I'm going to say this. I want to kind of like play it in the sense that these feelings are new and I'm not even, you know, aware of them completely, and then maybe we can get together later in the steps. Is this me? Okay. Someday, you thought, someday he knows exactly how much he really meant to you. Are you even surviving with the boy being 10 feet away at all times? Or is everything alright in the world again and he's back? No, Lee, he isn't here, just like he wasn't here yesterday or the last time you asked or the time before that.
Sorry.
Oh, my bad. Can you blame me? Doesn't it seem like he should have made his grand return already? Plus, I want to visit soon and he needs to be here too. You could understand where she was coming from. This was certainly outside the norm. The past few months, and the last few weeks especially, Cole had been going to his mom's place in Nevada. The two of you had still regularly stayed in contact over text and calls, but still, your mind began to drift back in time to all the prior trips he'd taken to visit her. Almost every year, he'd have to go away for a while and he'd be back. It made you sad and lonely when it happened. You never minded it. It's kind of nice to have breaks away from each other. You weren't a fan, but made do. It was just shitty. It upset you. Your younger self worried about him leaving for good. Would I worry about him leaving for good? No, I don't think I would do that. But yeah, I'll be sad. You sent him letters the entire time he was away. Your mom said you shipped out care packages to him and his mom. You gave him special treasures to take with him before he left. You kept an eye on his house for him while he wasn't there. You weren't capable of doing anything until he was back. Oh my gosh, that sounds like I'm depressed. Oh, incapable of anything until he was back. Um, why would I keep an eye on his house for him? Isn't his father at the house? Maybe letters. Letters seems cute, I guess. Cove made sure to mail back some to you too. That was how it was in the past. But lately he had been trying to see her as much as he could before taking long trips to another state became too impractical to do. His part-time work could become full-time soon, or he could be moving somewhere else for school. Cove hadn't actually been entirely clear what his plans were after graduation. Cove was hesitant to speak on that, even with you. Can be avoided forever though, and you both knew that. Maybe we should switch this up to a non-code related topic? Sounds like a plan. The rest of the conversation rolled on. Not much longer though, Lee had to go and you needed to finish your responsibilities around the house. The both of you exchanged goodbyes and then you went back to what you'd been working on before the call came in. As you wrapped up the last few chores, you were approached by Liz wearing a cheeky smile. I like her hat too. She's so fashionable. She's fitting really the island vibes. Or not island, I guess we're not on the island. But she's fitting the beach vibes. Ooh. Oh, she has like a dress and then she has like a mini dress. And then she got on a sleeveless clear dress that goes long. That's really nice. Okay. Unique. But I love the bow and the hat compliment. It's real nice. She looks good. Her fashion's really nice. I've got mom's keys. Want to get out of this tiny town and do some shopping in a real city? That sounds great. I'm driving. That was obvious. You know how to drive. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I did have a letters permit, but it expired. So, basically, I just don't know how to drive because it's been a while since I've been behind the wheel. Go get your wallet and anything else. We're going now. With a nod, you made a quick detour to collect your stuff from the bedroom. You had money saved up from all the part-time work you had done, as well as the gifts you received. After making sure both of you were fully prepared for the long haul to the larger city and the surrounding area, you buckled into the car. It was a smooth ride there with light conversation about what shops to stop at and the radio blasting. Liz controlled what was played, but she made sure to pick songs she knew you liked. It was something the two of you had always done for each other. A trip that breezed by, and in what felt like no time, you're gone from cruising down the road to cruising through the mall. Liz had an interest to check out, and you yours. Your hobbies and skills were still the ones you developed when you were younger. You had gone into new things since you grown up. Let me see. What did they say? I mean, I guess I will say this. I mean, not much stuff has changed since like early teenagehood to the end of high school, but I've found some new stuff. So let's see. Like to read a manga, yes. Nonfiction books, and I don't read nonfiction novels that much, but I would like to. So I'll just say I do. Watch people. YouTube. Can I say YouTube? I watch YouTube. That's what I'd like to watch. I'll just say TV. Games, video games, and music. I still can't say a thing. What about the singers? Okay. Well, let me go back. Well, I like to listen to it, but and time on art, drawing, enjoy learning new things, into fashion, you love, clothes, makeup, jewelry, you wrote things. Yeah, there you go. When turning a corner down a new length of the mall, your eyes caught on a little gift store. Your friends and family have recently given you many presents for graduating high school. You realized you wanted to get a graduation gift for yourself to Cove. You had a gift of your own ready to give to Cove when the chance came. Really appreciate what you had gotten. Appreciate what you had gotten. Yeah. Graduation may have already come and gone, but Cove wasn't really around then anyway. You kept an eye out for something good, though you might have had some nice of them at home already. Eventually, the mall was exploding full, with every shop of note being checked over. Rather than going home, you decided to walk over to some smaller stores nearby. Just having thoughts on the topic.
So,
Honestly, malls are not the fashion of society. Even if smaller stores require extra distance, the brands are so much more. This was abruptly stopped speaking and walking right in the middle of the path. It was a good thing no one was behind her. She seemed entirely shut off for a moment. Liz? The attempts to catch her attention was unsuccessful. Something else had all her focus. Before you could puzzle out what might be happening, she began to mumble out of the corner of her mouth. Pascal? Don't draw attention, but look. What? With a harsh whisper and a subtle jerk of her head, she urged it once more.
hey,
Look! You followed her gaze as best you could to a large bunch of colorful teens strolling down the same path. Okay. You faced back over to your sister with a confused expression and the unspoken question, who are you supposed to be seeing there? Pascal, doesn't one of them seem familiar? She was practically bouncing at this point, so you looked the group over again, and this time you saw what she was seeing. Oh, Shiloh! I mean, welcome to a collection of strangers with brown hair, gray eyes, and lots of freckles. Good to see you again, Shiloh. Oh, we get to see him. So yeah, this is kind of how he looks in and what's it called? In XOXO Droplets, the game that he debuted in. That's Shiloh, our Shiloh, from when we were kids. Yep, that was definitely him. I can't believe it. He's honestly just there. It's hilarious. That's incredible. Oh, but how do we want to talk to him? We have to pull him away from all those other people, and what if I'm wrong? Your mouth opened to reply, but she cut it off from her own answer. She cut it off with her own answer to the question. I've got it. I'll shout the name Shiloh, and we can act like it wasn't us. If he responds to that, then we'll know without a doubt it's him. Pascal, keep an eye out to see if he looks. Liz, can't you just try to talk to him normally? You're not doing that. That's a terrible plan. Why do I have to be the one who watches? Let's try it. Fine. You know how to react. I mean, to me, I'm always like nervous to talk to people I've seen. Like people I haven't seen in a while. I'm like, oh my gosh, is that them? I'm always nervous to talk to them. So it's kind of hypocritical of me to say this. Fine, we'll do it. Like without even hearing what you had to say, Liz put her plan into action. Shiloh! She loudly projected the word across the way and then put on an act of casualness. Turn her head away from the sea while brushing up the skirt of her dress, girl. In a supremely awkward moment, you could only stand there as the tension area shifted to the two of you thanks to your sister's shout. But one of the many startled bystanders who became altered to your presence, one of them was the boy. From a distance, his large eyes met yours. He looked. A wide grin took over Liz's face. She pushed back the rim of her sun hat up and away from her face, while swishing back around to greet her old friend directly. Shiloh! Waving, she stepped back closer to express her intention to meet without really closing the gap. She wanted him to come to her. Who you presumed to be Shiloh looked surprised at the call out. He stole a quick glance at the crowd he was with and hesitantly glanced back your way. He was trying to double check something. Liz remained steadfast with her gaze trained on him, and ultimately he broke away from the rest of them. After a light-footed jog across the brick path, the young man pleasantly presented himself in front of Liz and you. Hi, I like your hat. Just a simple green hat, Liz giggling. Hello, I'm not so sure if you remember this, but I'm Lizzie and that's Pascal. We were friends when we were little kids. His already wide eyes grew even larger. Their gaze darted between you and Liz. His previously chipper demeanor faded into something delicate. Oh! Why are you acting like this, Shiloh? I'm really sorry, but I think you have the wrong person. You could tell not being instantly recognized was going to make this exchange more of a challenge, so Liz was undeterred. It was a long time ago. You were really young. I get why you feel like that. However, I'm positive I'm right. You're exactly the same. That face, the freckles, how genially you try to phrase things. You're even still wearing a hat. Yeah, that's his trademark. Instinctively, he looked at his headwear with creased brows, not making the connection of why the hat meant something to her. We knew each other, okay? An elusive smile settled on him as silence followed his speech. He was picking his neck words carefully. And the quiet was obliterated by a new voice bursting into the conversation. Shiloh, what are you doing? The rest of the group already left. A field trip is not a vacation. We're on a schedule. Oh, he's in school right now. Startled, your head snapped back toward the path. A distinctly unhappy individual, piercing magenta eyes, dark brown skin, and sharp jaws stormed you. Wait, who's this? Wait. I think I know who this is. I know who that is. Oh my gosh, that's Nate. That's Nate. Okay, so in XOXO Droplets, Nate was one of the people you could romance in the game along with Shiloh and Jeremy and two other people. Yeah, Nate is always like the serious one, like the serious guy of the group. Okay, like he has magenta eyes, he has magenta hair, he has magenta locks, like dreadlocks, and he has dark brown skin. Oh my gosh, Nate! He carried a cloud of authority with him, despite looking like he wasn't even 18 yet. I didn't mean to ditch. Shiloh, whose name was now officially confirmed, gestured with a hand to add to explanation of his absence as the stranger watched impatiently. Shiloh, why you act like you don't know us? They thought they recognized me as someone they knew, but it was a tiny misunderstanding. Liz theoretically, as well as literally, put her foot down at that, stomping in frustration, getting more childish the longer she was around her childhood companion.
Come on.
We do know you! Shiloh merely shrunk in on himself. The tone he spoke with was pain. Sorry. You couldn't tell he was apologizing for the upset feelings of your sister, the palpable dissatisfaction of a new acquaintance. That in of itself was very Shiloh-like. Oh, you know him, is that it? The stranger spoke in a dismissively scoffing tone, as if the words sounded so absurd to him, absurd to him, it was almost amusing. Almost. But the sternness of his demeanor quickly reinstated itself. Well, do you know me? I'll tell you, I'm someone who's been forced against his will to be aware of what's been going on in Shiloh's ridiculous personal life for a year. If the two of you had any importance in his general day-to-day existence, they would have come up by now. Don't bother to exaggerate any trivial connection you might have. It's not good enough. He's with us, and you'll survive without him. Now stop loitering in the road. It's rude. Oh my gosh.
Excuse me?
Excuse me? Oh, we're the rude ones? The high-strung ranting got an audible gasp from Shiloh, who finally started to speak up again in defense. Nate, I was right. That is Nate. Nate, that's really mean. It's also true. We're leaving. Nate is always so. He always has to stick up his butt. With that declaration, the unofficially introduced Nate and dignity spun on his heels and walked speedily towards where the group went, completely confident that Shiloh would follow behind. I want to see how he looks in this game, though. It would have been nice. Ah. Oh, people can sure have bad attitudes, huh? Why can't they just try to get along? It's not that hard. Don't worry, though. I bet you won't have to deal with him again. I'm sorry I can't talk to you, but I hope you have a really nice life.
Bye.
Bye. And that was it. His final parting words given, Shiloh left the two of you behind to catch up with his own life that he had to go and live. Liz watched the exit, stunned, only to frown when it hit her that he was really gone as quickly as he appeared. It happened so fast that you hadn't even been able to get a word in. She sighed, all the energy she built to release him with a breath. I could have told him his last name was Fields. His birthday was October 30th. His birthday is October 30th. I would have proved it, but no. Girl, you remember everything about him. That's crazy. I don't even remember the people like that. You know, like they hung out when it was like, she was like 10, I guess. I don't remember the people's birthdays and last names and stuff like that. You really liked him. You were close friends with him, apparently. So, I'm sorry, Liz. Wow, Shiloh grew up to be dumb. You were left feeling equally deflated. Whoever Nate is sucks. Well, damn. You couldn't help but laugh. You were left feeling equally deflated. That could have been a nice moment, and instead it was disappointing. Do you want to go catch up with him? Liz merely shook her head, pushing off childish thoughts. I think we can leave it there, thanks. Even though of a high school field trip, and it was already enough being able to see him, there's something reassuring about witnessing firsthand that he's still out there, doing his own part of the world. Though, if given the chance, I could have definitely have a few words with him about the company he's got. He laughed. She laughed, but you could tell there wasn't much humor to it. She was mad at the guy, and even she was happy to let Shiloh go. Maybe they're only there with each other because of the trip, and it's not usually how things are.
Right?
True. We can only hope the same for him as he did for us. Have a nice life, Shiloh. Have a good life. Bye, Shiloh. We'll miss you. Bye, Shiloh. Liz smiled at you. She had the self-confidence you knew so well from her. Come on, little baby bro. Let's finish our own trip. Yeah. No matter how either of you really felt about the occurrence, it was something you simply had to accept. People you know just disappear and reappear in the most unexpected ways. The two of you enjoy what remained of your outing until it was time to return home. By the time you arrived back, the sun was beginning to set. Okay. So it is almost 7:30, so I should probably get ready to set up for Goose Goose Duck. I wanted to wait till Cove comes, but I don't know how long it's gonna take for Cove to come, and these expositions can be to take a little long. So maybe it would be nice to save me and Cove for the next stream, and then we can spend some time with Cove, you know, in the little moments of the summer. So I guess it's a good place to stop for now. So that saved? Yes, I saved. Turn to menu. Do boom boom. Okay, so yeah, thank you all very kindly for coming. And hopefully I'll see y'all in about half an hour or so to play Goose Goose Duck. So yeah, I'm excited to see how Cove is going. How Cove is gonna look. Cove is shy apparently. He's like kind of keeps to himself. So I mean, you know, I know it's I was more of a quiet, reserved person in the second step because that's how it was. But I don't know how much of that would rub off on Cove, since Cove seemed to be Cove was already kind of laid back a little bit even. So maybe my somewhat of a reserved personality that I gave influenced him a little bit. So I'm curious to see how he reacts, how he looks. But yeah, I'll see ya and very soon. Bye.